Giving always makes me hyper-aware of noise. The oven timer. Silverware striking plates. Mother-in-law narrating how things used to be done properly. I've learned to move inside it without reacting, to keep my voice even, to choose which comments deserve oxygen. At 7 p.m., I realized the noise had a gap in it. My daughter's laugh wasn't in the room. At first I assumed she'd retreated upstairs with her tablet. She does that when the adult volume climbs too high. I checked her bedroom, the hallway bathroom, the den. Her chair at the table was still slightly angled away, napkin folded small beside her plate. Remember the way my chest tightened, not panic yet, just instinct shifting gears. I opened the back door. The patio light was on. Air hit my face first, sharp, metallic cold. 40 degrees. Too cold for a sweater. Certainly too cold for bare arms. She was sitting on one of the metal chairs, knees pulled in, fingers tucked under her thighs like she was trying to borrow warmth from herself. She didn't look shocked to see me, just relieved. "Why are you out here?" I asked, already pulling my cardigan around her shoulders. "Grandma said adults needed space," she said. "She said I should go outside for a bit." "For how long?" She shrugged. "Until dessert, maybe." Her skin was cold when I touched her cheek. Not dramatic, not blue, just cold enough that I knew she'd been there a while. "Were you scared?" She shook her head. I thought maybe I was being too loud. That sentence rearranged something in me. Inside, the dining room was still bright. My mother-in-law was explaining to my husband's cousin how children today lacked natural boundaries. Raise my voice. "She's been outside for over 30 minutes, I said. My mother-in-law didn't flinch. "She's fine. It's brisk, dangerous." She needed to understand that adults require space. There it was again. Boundaries. Space. Words shaped like therapy, but used like discipline. My husband looked between us, caught in that familiar hesitation. No one else spoke. "She's 11, I said, "and she's learning," his mother replied. The room waited for escalation. It didn't get one. Took my daughter upstairs, ran warm water over her hands, wrapped her in a blanket. I didn't explain. I didn't editorialize. I just stayed with her until her shoulders loosened. That night, lying awake, I realized this wasn't about temperature. It was about who gets to define safety. Over the years, I'd allowed small intrusions because they seemed survivable. Comments about my parenting, rearranging my kitchen, correcting my daughter mid-sentence. I told myself it was generational friction, not malice, but sending her outside in the cold to learn boundaries wasn't friction. It was authority exercised without consent. In the morning, I called a locksmith. I didn't consult. I didn't announce it as a dramatic declaration. I scheduled it for 9 a.m. twice, when the house would be quiet. The drilling was brief but unmistakable. When my mother-in-law arrived that afternoon, with her usual key and a casserole dish, the lock didn't turn. I opened the door myself. "There seems to be a problem," she said, testing the handle again. "There isn't," I replied. I kept my voice level, calm enough that she had to listen carefully. "You'll need to call before coming over now," I said, "and visits will be when one of us is home the entire time." Her expression hardened. "You're overreacting." "No," I said. "I'm adjusting." She looked past me into the house, expecting someone else to intervene. My husband stood a few feet back. He didn't speak. But he didn't contradict me either. That silence was different from Thanksgiving's silence. This one was alignment. "You're shutting me out," she said. "Protecting my daughter," I answered. I didn't list grievances. I didn't mention the patio. She knew. I knew. The door closed gently, not slammed, just closed. The phone calls started later, relatives framing it as misunderstanding, as pride, as generational differences. I didn't argue. I repeated the same sentence. We're adjusting how access works. Access, not love, not relationship. Access. In the days that followed, my daughter lingered closer in the kitchen. She didn't mention the patio again, but she asked if her friends could come over more often. She started sitting at the table longer, even when adults were talking. The house felt quieter, smaller, a little fractured, but it felt controlled. I didn't celebrate. There was no triumphant moment, just a steady understanding that protection sometimes looks like inconvenience, sometimes like being called difficult. When I lock the door at night now, the sound is firm, not angry, just decided.